Hey guys, how you going? It's boy MKS here. In my last few videos, my last series of videos, I think I may well have forgot to mention that I was going to say can't remember if I mentioned it or not, but I was going to say my first video will be like a list form video, and then the rest of my videos will hopefully be not in list form. But the first video is like to plan out the rest of the day. But this video, I'm going to try and mix it up with a few videos that are not in list form. So I just talk about things that I've thought about or I'm thinking about, or even probably try and make them a bit more random and spontaneous and that sort of thing, miscellaneous, random, spontaneous, and all that sort of stuff. But this one is going to be another list form video. So as I say, I hope someone out there, or I hope as many people out there enjoy them as much as possible. And of course, I love to get as many views, subscribers, and people liking the video and whatever as possible. Of course, because the more it obviously feels good for people to enjoy videos, but also from a psychological point of view, and also it helps me to get towards my goals of earning any money off it, so that I can become financially independent, and also helps me to help other people as well. So I appreciate any views, subscribers, and all that sort of thing, and likes and all that kind of thing. But some of our videos are obviously not going to be geared towards certain people, so I might make some videos about football, like Italian football and stuff like that. So unfortunately, obviously not everyone's going to like those videos, but hopefully some people out there who like football. And as I've said before, I love to make videos about football where people who don't even like football or soccer or whatever you want to call it would actually enjoy them. Anyway, I thought I'd make another video or two, maybe three, before I possibly go for a walk or do something else, or maybe do some cleaning or something like that. So I want to talk about my ideas about how I hope Egypt will host or hold many summits and events and conferences. I know I talked a bit about before, like yesterday, about the business side of things, or banking and things like that, and investing in businesses. But I thought today, obviously because it's Wednesday, I'll say Writing Wednesday. So anyway, I'm going to try and get on with the list. I'm sorry if I'm waffling. So please, as ever, share your comments, opinions, questions, or anything you want to share in the comments below. I really welcome it, even if it's negative or whatever. It's freedom of speech and all that. So I really support freedom of speech, libertarianism, and all that kind of thing. So anyway, here goes. Number one, I hope that Egypt will host as many summits and events and conferences as possible to bring together Asian and African creatives and merge the creatives and writers, authors, artists, and so on and so forth into Egypt to talk about projects and things they can work on and how they can promote their own work, and like more people find out about their work. So hopefully it will help, obviously, to be a mutual benefit. Two, I hope they look at what Asia and Africa can learn from each other about writing, art, and whatever else. And for instance, publishers, people who've got their work published already, can help other people. Once I'm drinking water rather than tea at the moment, but I'm going to have another cup of tea soon. But anyway, so what they can learn from each other and things like that. I'm hoping my phone doesn't ring as well. Anyway, so number three, I hope for Egypt to host events between Asia and Africa where they can look at how they can support the poorest people and general people to become writers, and more people to become writers, authors, writers/authors, poets, artists, and so forth. And like what banks and businesses and organisations can support such, and how they can get themselves published and all sorts of things like that, and what they can learn from other places about human rights and freedoms, like what they can learn from events in the UK about how people network and things like that in other countries around the world, other nations around the world, and that sort of thing. And again, discuss what freedom means to them and things like that. Number four, I hope that Asian and African nations can meet up in Egypt and talk about about diplomacy and how they can avoid going to war with each other, and how Egypt can facilitate and discuss, like, say, for instance, there's disputes over land in Egypt, that the Egyptians can talk about and listen to both sides of the argument, or what case each nation has across Asia and Africa for certain parts of land, and how that can be as peacefully as possible, be resolved, and make as much peace as possible in Africa and Asia, and how that would help with things like tourism and trade and whatever else. And how they can come together with what they have in common. And as I talked before in my previous videos about, like, dyslexic people from Asia and Africa, neurodiverse people drawing pictures and writing and discussing through our creativity, because the positive sides of things like dyslexia, how we think out of the box and all that, and autistic people with art and things like that, and how we can think of ideas other people might not think about. So even if we're not the best in school academically and all that, we can be good in other areas. And hopefully we can do the writing and expression of how to bring the nations together with that, so they don't go to war with each other and things like that. Number 5, again, people from Asia and Africa, they send diplomats and politicians and writers, authors, artists, creatives, and talk about their aspirations and what they can learn from each other, how they can help each other to reach their full potential, reach their goals, and promote their works as much as possible. Again, that could, for Asian artists, for instance, they'll have more access to not just other Asian nations, but also African markets as well, and vice versa. African artists will also be able to promote their work, so hopefully it will propel both continents to be able to promote their art and their writing and whatever else as much as possible, and again have more access to more markets for their art, writing and all that kind of thing. Number 6, I hope to talk about the benefits of working together, and I'd love to be able to maybe even in the future be able to attend such events and talk in Egypt about the benefits of working together. I hope it will benefit all Asian and African nations, and Egypt itself, of course. Number 7, I hope God will bless Asia and Africa and Egypt itself as well as much as possible. And again, they'll learn about neurodiversity and things like that, and how to work together and support each other, and in spite of religious differences, perhaps look at inspiration in religion, which talks about peace and working together, and look at more peaceful quotes, whether that's through spiritual stuff, religious stuff, or other such stuff. Like in the Bible itself says there's much advantages to being united and working together, as far as I'm aware. Number 8, I hope that both African and Asian nations will talk about what they love about each other, and promote human rights and anti-imperialism and anti-extremism, anti-hate, and talk about love, not hate, and also like women's rights and that kind of thing. Number 9, I hope that the politicians and others from Asia and Africa will talk about what their priorities are, how to plan, how to help, as I say, people to get published, people who need inspiration and confidence and motivation and things like that, to help them out. Again, to look at their plans and priorities and how they can help each other to reach those plans and priorities, whether that's tackling poverty or just generally helping their economies to grow, or helping, as I say, their writers, artists, and all that sort of thing. And on different days, as I say, I have different plans. And number 10, I've just read on Facebook. Apparently, I went on Facebook just for a brief time to check, to say, to wish my brother a happy birthday, or half brother, or whatever you want to call him, and one of my brothers. I saw that it was International Children's Day, so I thought about how I would love to inspire and motivate children. And obviously, different people have their different ways of teaching and mentoring. Some people say if you spare the rod and you'll spoil the child, or they'll say that you have to have discipline, or some motivational speakers or people like that will say you have to beat people down or shout at people. And I don't know if they're right or wrong. Maybe I mean, apparently people like Bill Gates or the late Steve Jobs or people like that shouted at people, especially when they were younger. And some people might say it's a great way, like in football, like Alex Ferguson, some people like that shout at Roy Keane, if you follow football, shouted at people, and that's how you push people and things like that. But I'm a great believer. I'm a bit of a softy sort of guy. I have a softy approach, if you like, and I believe that it's about encouraging people, saying you can do it, but obviously not saying you can just sit around, but saying that you can do things, but you have to believe in yourself. And so different people have the different styles. Mine is more of a softer style power. So I don't believe in beating children or shouting at them too much, but I do believe in trying to push them to achieve their full potential and not be lazy. So if I went to schools in Asia and Africa and taught and did talks about, I'd talk about famous dyslexia and all that, but I'd make sure I'd look around the classroom, and if the children are looking out the window or bored or disengaged or not learning stuff, I'd still want them to learn things for their future and have like 5 or 10 year plans and learn about things and do different assignments. So I give them assignments to do, not to be harsh, but to actually push them to reach their full potential. And I also believe that we should teach children about child protection, teach parents as well about how to keep their children safe, especially online. I'm wary about this video being a bit long, so I do want to cover a few points. But yeah, so I might comment in the comment section below because I don't want the video to be too long. But I want to talk about like children's rights and also how to protect children, keep them safe, especially online, and what they can learn from each other in different organisations which can protect children, and talk about in Asia and Africa how to keep children safe and hopefully happy. And hope you enjoy this video. If so, please give it some likes, and peace and love.